Happy full moon, beautiful people. These are 3 things that I wish I knew before starting jujitsu. First thing, if you were an athlete in high school and you start competing in jujitsu, just know that it'll be very addicting. And if you're anything like me and have a very dopaminergic personality, just know it'll be similar to crack. Remember, after my first competition, I couldn't focus on my work that I had to do for an actual living until I signed up for my next competition. Not only wanted to get some wins back, but I also just love the high of getting my first submission. And it is a money suck. To get addicted to competing, you're gonna be doing it once every month at least. So just know that if you were an athlete in high school and you start competing in jujitsu, you're gonna get really competitive with it. Or you might be normal and not have that problem, but just know it's a possibility. The second thing I wish I knew is that teaching jujitsu is a quick way to learn it. When I was about a year into my journey, I would come in to class with the intention of like finding a purple belt or higher belt and try to absorb all the information I need from them that will help complement my game. And that's, I wouldn't always just go straight up to someone and like ask them specific stuff for my game, but I always tried to be with a higher belt so that they could help me and give me information. If I didn't get to do that and I actually had to help a new person in class, I would be a little bit annoyed and I would waste a lot of energy being kind of salty that I had to explain certain things. And also I was not super confident in explaining things. The more you're able to explain things and explain why they work, it will help your game as well. So taking the time to help someone else with their game is only going to help yours too. And if I would have realized that sooner, I would have saved a lot of energy being salty that I have to spend my time explaining certain things to people. Granted, you know, it's reasonable to feel like that. Like if you had a long work day and you don't really want to go into training and feel like you have to be in teacher mindset, especially like me being a white belt, I didn't feel like I ever wanted to be in the teacher mindset, but just know that it is helpful to explain things back. And the third thing I wish I knew, first time I saw a real competition was at High Rollers Jiu-Jitsu, and I had been microdosing on mushrooms, and I was like, oh my gosh, this flow state is so crazy. And I really fell in love with the side of using cannabis with jiu-jitsu, and something I probably should have known earlier. And even like black belts who use cannabis when they smoke, even the black belts will say like you shouldn't be using cannabis much when you're a white belt. Like maybe during your rolls, you can try a little bit, but even then you should be still really careful with what you're doing. And also, if you're doing it before the lesson has started and you're trying to learn a new move, it's really stunting your growth. And no one likes to hear this fact, but it's not helping your jujitsu. So that's coming from a former pothead over here. 3 things I wish I knew before starting jujitsu. Hope that helps. And happy full moon.